The handoff at the top of the arc, played by Davis. To the curling, Vassell pass deflected by Davis. Intercepted by Flagg, 2-on-1. Up top, and there's Flagg trying to dunk it. He missed it. Davis got the rebound, and he dunks it at the front of the rim.
Defense turning into offense immediately. Almost a great start for Flagg on the alley-oop.
Boy, if he had converted that, this place would cease to exist. Here's Wembanyama, show and go on Lively. Kick it right to Castle, right to left. Away from Washington, in the lane, backhand pass. Away from Wembanyama, run down by Champagnie in the right corner. Now to Wembanyama, off balance, and that rims the basket. But he draws a foul on P.J. Washington, and he'll go to the line, and not a great foul. And Jason Kidd talked about that with us in the pregame, more as it related to three-point shooters. But Wembanyama was off balance there. You can't foul him like that.
Well, he meant perimeter shooters. That's exactly what happened to KD last night at the end of the game with SGA just taking that bait, and he kind of made that elbow contact. You want him to shoot that 20-footer. Don't foul him on it.
Wembanyama rims home the first one, an 83.6% free-throw shooter a year ago. Sky obviously the limit for him.
Looks bigger up top.
Yes, he does.
A little bit more bulk this year. You're not going to be able to push him around as much.
2 free throws made for Wembanyama, and the game tied at 2, 40 seconds in. And the Spurs showing some pressure with Castle against Flagg. Flagg left-hand dribble, spinning right of the lane. Castle all over him. Back pass on the bounce to Washington. Across the way to Davis, and now Lively. Inside the circle, fakes the hit to Davis, looking. They're not moving very well right now with 6 to shoot. Hand off to Davis, left baseline, tough fade away, and hit it over Harrison Barnes.
Davis saved a possession that I don't think flowed the way they wanted it to.
The Mavericks 4, the Spurs 2 is Castle. Up the right side, played by Washington. On the curl comes Vassell, chased by Flagg down the lane. Short in the middle of the lane, Lively the rebound. Middle outlet, Washington, 3-on-3. Washington to the rim, and blocked by Wembanyama from behind, but too late. It's goaltending.
Yeah, that's something he's worked on. Keeping the ball, don't let him swipe it away when he gets in the lane, and using that shoulder like a running back to plow through. He did it that time.
Mavericks with a 6-2 lead early on, as Castle will walk it up. To his left, screen Wembanyama. Lively plays him on the switch. To Barnes now at the nail. Wembanyama wrap around right. Barnes on the drive. Right to left. Fakes on Davis. Couldn't get the shot away. Out to Champagnie. Now to Wembanyama. In and out to his left with 5 on the clock. A runner is too hard. And Davis with the rebound. And that's well played defensively by the Mavericks.
Great defense so far overall.
Here's Davis in the slot left to Flagg. Fake the three-pointer. Puts it on the floor. Now backs up against Wembanyama. Fans making a racket, and Wembanyama watching Flagg pull up and miss it. Offensive rebound, Lively, and he had it knocked away from him. No. They'll say it's San Antonio's ball.
But Flagg had that 3 right away, but Wembanyama was defend.
Top to Castle. Pick and roll with Wembanyama on the drive, and he's fouled by Washington, who's picked up 2 quick fouls, and Stephon Castle will go to the line to shoot.
Yeah, and that is what Jason Kidd was worried about, picking up some silly fouls. You've got help behind you. Funnel into your bigs. You don't have to commit those kind of fouls out on the perimeter.
So Washington with 2 early fouls, 2 team fouls against the Mavericks. Castle 72% from the foul line last year. Shooting has always been the issue with him as he hits the first one. Here comes D'Angelo Russell into the game to replace P.J. Washington.
Najee Marshall.
Najee Marshall will check in, so they will stay relatively big here.
Yeah, this is kind of an earlier sub than you would normally have. So they're just replacing a big with, kind of a wing with a wing here.
And Marshall in, Washington out. That's who's in and who's out. Brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. That's what a hamburger is all about. And here comes Flagg up the left side against Castle. Inside the hash mark, above the break, circles right. Now dropping to Davis in the mid-post with a cutting Lively from the weak side. He dunks it home with 2 hands.
When you play with 2 bigs and you get double team out there on one of them, the other big goes right to the hole. That alley-oop is open. They don't have another big to cover it.
The Mavericks 8, the Spurs 4, Dallas 4-6 to start the game. Spurs yet to hit a field goal. Only 2 field goal attempts. Then Wembanyama to his left, Lively right there. He'll rise up and he hits it from just behind the left elbow.
That's okay. That's the shot you want him to take.
8-6. Here's Flag against Castle as they bump. Spins off of Castle. On the drive. Through the lane. Right corner. Show and go now by Marshall. Into traffic. Spinning left and over Champagny. That falls off the left of the rim. Rebound batted out to Marshall. Behind him to Davis. To the bottom of the jump circle. To his right. Playing pick and roll. Drives on Champagny at the block. Off the board. No good. Rebound off the hands of Lively. Picked up by Barnes up the left side to Castle in the lane, through the lane, bounce it back out. Vassell, plenty of time to tee it up and knock down a three to put the Spurs in front 9-8.
Well, they got the offensive rebound they wanted, but then the kick out.
Now Thompson in deep for Davis, and from the weak side, Wembanyama got that. Jason Kidd wants goaltending, not call. Close there. I think he got it though as Castle gets the foul on jumper and around and down.
To take a look at that one again sometime.
Spurs with 11-8 lead, nearly 4 minutes in. Thompson, quick catch and shoot, left side short, and it goes out of bounds as it hit the board and went away. San Antonio has scored the last 7. Max Christie will now check in for the Mavericks to replace Derek Lively as Anthony Davis now moves to the 5.
Interesting, they don't go to Dwight Powell. They decide to play Anthony Davis to 5 here with Lively out.
Off the stagger, left to right. Castle back out. Barnes for 3. He hits it. Harrison Barnes, 7th in the NBA last year. His best shooting season as a pro. 43% behind the three-point line, better than 50% overall. Here's Thompson right to left in the lane. Behind him to Davis. He'll try a 3 from the right slot. That's no good. Long rebound to the left sideline. And Harrison Barnes could not hold on to it there, and the Mavericks will get it back.
And 2 threes for San Antonio, none for Dallas. Keep an eye on that three-point differential all season.
Marshall inbound from the left sideline, parallel in the middle of the lane. Flag cuts through, out to Davis. Left of the circle, coming around right to left is Thompson. Stops left elbow, trying to draw a foul. Did not get the call. It comes back to Davis, and he's fouled going back up with Champagny and Wembanyama together.
They're going to call the ticky-tack fouls on Washington on this side. You got to call them on the other side. Thompson has a point.
Champagny gets called for the foul, the first one on the Spurs tonight. San Antonio has hit his last 4 shots on the floor. The Mavericks have missed their last 5. They're 4 of 12 to start the game. Spurs 4 of 6. Davis 77.5% from the line last year.
Of course, playing with those goggles. Played with them all preseason. Got to play with them the rest of his career.
First one is up and good. Mavericks free throw shooting in the preseason was excellent. 79.5% and on very high volume, right around 29 free throws per game.
They want to get to the free throw line more. The highest points per possession on any play in the game is at the free throw line.
One more coming for Davis. As the free throw ended, that run for San Antonio, and he hits the second one. Mavericks show the 2-2-1 full court pressure. Barnes along the right side, watched by Christie. Wembanyama out top, put it on the floor, on the drive, and he hurts the rim of the right of the rim.
That's what Jason Kidd was talking about from the top of the key to the rim. He only needs to take 2 steps. Got to build that wall.
San Antonio 16, the Mavericks 10, nearly 5 minutes in. Davis along the left side. Davis against Vassell, and now Wembanyama. Mid-post left, squares him up. Behind his back, left baseline drive, underneath the basket. Christie right corner, out to Marshall, show and go. Back to Christie, right corner 3, and he got it. And the Mavericks are going to need that from Max Christie this season. He hits the Mavericks' first 3 of the game.
You said it. Those corner 3s are going to be important. He is going to be left open to hit them.
San Antonio 16, the Mavericks 13. Here's Castle. Right elbow, crosses right to left. And through the lane, intended for Champagny, deflected by Christie out of bounds. And that leads to the first timeout of the night. An early 10-0 run from San Antonio got them the lead. And they have a 3-point lead right now. Spurs 16, Mavericks 13, 6:34 remaining in the first on the Dallas Mavericks Radio Network.
be able to keep running into our spots and cutting and moving, and not only ball movement but body movement, and we do those things, then we can get any shot that we want.
There's Anthony Davis with tonight's Dallas Morning News quote of the game. We visited with him in Las Vegas last Wednesday night after the Mavericks win in the final preseason game. About this offense, and what I found really interesting, Brian, is that AD's talked so much about you need to be in shape to be able to play this offense, and if you are in great shape, that could ultimately be the difference coming down the stretch of what figures to be a bunch of close games this year.
Well, they want to run. They want to cross that half-court line at the 21-second mark. You know that the first 6 seconds of the shot clock, the field goal percentage last year in the NBA, 54%. The last 18 seconds, 45%. That's why they want to run.
Spurs ball as we resume. They shoot to our right as Castle pushes it into Luke Cornett, the former Celtic in the game. Back out to Castle, who knocks down a three-pointer from the slot on the left over Najee Marshall.
Getting out to three-point shooters is going to be a real emphasis.
Spurs have made 6 straight shots from the floor, and Castle, a 28.5% three-point shooter last year, puts the Spurs up 19-13. And at the other end, Castle gets called for a foul for a hold on D'Angelo Russell, who's checked in the game out of the timeout. It's Marshall and Ryan Nembhard with Davis, Christie, and Russell. Mavericks shoot to our left. Russell right-hand dribble against Castle. Bank it up and in, off balance. Wanted a foul call and didn't get it. Nice finish by D'Angelo Russell. At the other end, Castle on the drive. Foul by Davis. He'll go to the line.
Another late call.
Well, tell you what, San Antonio is giving the Mavericks a little bit of their own medicine right now because they're getting it up the floor really fast. The Mavericks haven't necessarily done their best job of getting back in transition.
Yeah, if there's 2 areas on defense you want to look at, it's getting out on three-point shooters and transition D. That's where they're really concerned about, and you've seen that bite them here so far early in this one.
So Castle to shoot, and that's in and out.
Of course, Sean Sweeney over on the Spurs bench, a longtime consigliere, if you will, for Jason Kidd. He's now the associate head coach in San Antonio.
Castle, the native of Covington, Georgia, made his way to UConn, won a national championship for Danny Hurley. He missed 2 free throws, and Russell grabbed the rebound. 19-15, Mavericks down 4. Davis with it up top. Davis against Cornett. Left-hand dribble, handoff Russell, off of Davis, kick it right. Christie will try to drive, and he stepped on the sideline as he started his move.
Can't do that. Can't do it on a corner 3 shot. Can't do it right there. Little things.
Castle will receive the inbound from Vassell with Cornett, Barnes, and Keldon Johnson in the game out of the timeout as well. And here's Vassell, a catch and shoot off the flare from 3, no good. Rebound, Davis knocked away from him by Johnson out of bounds, and it'll be the Mavericks ball.
9 players so far in the Mavs in this first quarter. I think that's going to be the rotation today. See how the mix and match works.
And Ryan Nembhard, who showed so well in those last 2 preseason games, getting the early run here tonight on that 2-way contract where he can play a maximum of 50 games. Davis, top of the circle pull-up, is short, and Castle with the rebound for San Antonio. Here comes Castle, high screen by Cornett, and an offensive foul on Cornett, who can't believe Tony Brothers' call.
We talk about Ryan Nembhard in those 50 games. We learned last year how important it is when you count every one. I think what the Mavs are going to do is front load those games, hoping that you're a little healthier in the later of the season. He's really impressed in camp.
Obviously, hoping that Kyrie Irving's going to get back at some point to give them the depth that they need, and Brandon Williams as well, get him healthy from the hamstring that has hampered him all preseason. Nembhard got himself to the foul line for the pull-up. He banked it in, banked open, didn't call it, doesn't matter.
9:04, bank is still open.
19-17. Cornett, hand off to Johnson, poked away by Nembhard, but he got it back. Hands to Dylan Harper, the rookie, in for the first time, and he'll pull up from the foul line. The left-hander long and left, and Davis snares his 4th rebound for the Mavericks. Up the middle he comes against Cornet, in and out to his left, and trying to draw a foul. He can't get the call. He misses too hard. The rebound taken by Castle to Vassell. Harper steps out of bounds along the sideline. The Mavericks get it back as we pause for station identification on the Dallas Mavericks radio network.
KEGL, Fort Worth, Dallas.
Got his own rebound back. Oh, and just got
absolutely
hammered.
Murdered inside. That, but even look at that if you want.
Well, that was a playoff foul on opening night.
Yeah, that you got to look at that. I'm sorry, they are going to. And he whacked him right. That's a flagrant one. You don't need to take 2 minutes to look at it. It's an easy one.
So the timeout taken.
Common foul. The player's being reviewed to see if it meets the criteria for a flagrant foul.
4:17 remaining in the first quarter. No timeout called. So teams just go over to their benches.
All right, logistics. We saw in preseason where they had the earpieces and the replay center made these calls. Now they're going to headsets.
But the replay center is still making the call.
Okay. That's what I wanted, because I did look like yesterday. It seemed like they were taking a little bit longer in that first game.
Yeah, I think we liked that in the preseason, right? Didn't we like the way that worked?
It was quick. By the way, if we have a little time, my trivia question for you, since the NBC was back in action yesterday, and you loved seeing it.
Yes, we did.
When was the last time a game aired in the NBA on NBC?
The finals.
There is wind up and follow through on the play. Therefore, with a flagrant foul penalty when will be assessed, it will be 2 shots plus possession of the ball.
Yeah, they got it right, and they did it quick.
They did. The NBA on NBC was from 1990, the fall of 1990, through the spring of 2002. So the 2002 finals were on NBC. That was the Lakers and the Nets. So Jason Kidd playing for the Nets. However, the Lakers swept the Nets in 4 consecutive games. So June 12th, I believe, of 2002.
All right, you cheated.
No, I didn't. Did not cheat.
You're amazing.
Did not.
Well, Follow didn't get it yesterday on the With You podcast, and you nailed the date, the year, the teams. At the Izod Center, it was a sweep. It had to be in Jersey.
Well, okay, so it will never be the Izod Center for me, having grown up in that area.
That's true,
It
yeah.
will always be the Brendan Byrne Arena.
Well, it's like the Summit turned into the Compact
Right,
Center in Houston.
Exactly. Davis shooting 2 free throws and rolls home the first one. It's a 7-point quarter for him. 2 free throws in the ball for the Mavericks with 4:17 remaining in the first quarter. Davis trying to get this game tied after San Antonio built a 6-point lead on the strength of a 10-0 run. Second one on the way, and that's good.
To see the NBA, it just seemed all was right in the world yesterday.
The music is great. The graphics were great. The games were great, which also really helped matters. Whether, obviously, competitive in the first game, Luka spectacular along with Jimmy Butler in the second game. As Russell on the drive, and he draws a foul as he got to Stephon Harper, and he'll go to the line.
But what it tells you is the West is really difficult. All 4 teams are West teams.
It's a bloodletting. It's a bloodletting, and that's why I asked Jason Kidd the question in our pregame talk tonight. Like, how do you balance your roster and your desire to experiment and, frankly, also to load manage? How do you do that when you know that every game, especially in the West, is just like a playoff game?
And when you have 5 straight at home to start your season, the first time in franchise history, and 3 of those are against the East, you got to go 10-5 in your East versus the East at home, minimum. And you have 3 of them here. You've got to take care of business. You can't fall back in the West early.
7-0 run for the Mavericks. Russell made the first foul shot, missed the second. Spurs shooting to our right. Here's Vassell, top of the circle, cut off by Christie. Back out to the veteran Jordan McLaughlin, who's in the game at point guard now for the Spurs. Trips as he goes to the ground, but able to get it to Keldon Johnson, circling out to Vassell. 3 to shoot, has to force it up, and he hits it from 12 feet off the left of the lane. And a delay of game warning now against San Antonio. It's 5 for Devin Vassell. Spurs go in front on that basket, 21-20. As Nembhard will bring it up against McLaughlin. Two small point guards. The top of the arc. Hesitation on the drive. Off balance. Runner is good. With a little extra arc on that one from Ryan Nembhard.
Nembhard, usually in there for organizing the offense and the assists. Got a couple buckets.
22-21. McLaughlin to Cornette, top of the circle. Coming around is Vassell. Got away from Nembhard and pulls up and hits a 17-footer straight away. Devin Vassell with 7. 23-22. Davis on the handoff to Russell. Off of Davis to his left. Pocket pass to Davis against Cornette. Turns, banks it up, and got it to go. A 10-point first quarter for Anthony Davis.
Oh.
As they seesaw back and forth, Spurs throw it ahead to Cornette. He couldn't hold on to it. Ryan Nembhard actually kicked the ball out of bounds, and that will now lead to a Mitch Johnson timeout for the Spurs with 2:59 remaining in an entertaining first quarter on opening night at the American Airlines Center. It's the Mavericks 24, the Spurs 23 on the Dallas Mavericks Radio Network.
Russell and Dylan Harper, along with the 3 number ones we have in Kyrie, AD, and Cooper, and of course Victor Wembanyama. How about that? By the way, congrats to Josh Howard's son Bryson, committed to Duke.
Did he really?
Wow.
There you go.
We
had talked to him
at the draft. And he was signing autographs at the draft party. I gave him a hard time. I said, "Your son's going to be better than you." He said, "Yep."
He's going to keep Dad in the lifestyle to which he's become accustomed to.
His pension plan.
As Vassell off the curl comes up short. Najee Marshall the rebound for the Mavericks on the drive. Left to right floater blocked by Cornette and taken down by Wembanyama. And San Antonio going with the too big look right now with both Wembanyama and Cornet in the game as Harper right-hand dribble, and he's called for a carry, and it's been a rough start for the rookie. A couple of turnovers for him.
Yeah, they usually don't play this. Now realize, last year, 49% rim protection, field goal percentage against for Wembanyama, number 1 in the league. Number 2, Cornet, 51%. They got both of them in the game right now.
Mavericks playing with Russell, Flagg, Lively, Christie, and Marshall as they shoot to our left. With 2.5 to play in the first quarter, the Mavericks a 24-23 lead. Russell able to draw a foul, and it looked like he was in the process of losing the ball, and Dylan Harper hit him, and he's going to go to the line to shoot.
Angelo Russell is here to score.
And getting maybe an earlier run than anticipated with the 2 early fouls on P.J. Washington.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to see P.J. until into the second.
And Russell way short on the first one. An 83% free throw shooter a year ago. This will be the 8th free throw shot by the Mavericks in the first quarter. And again, Ryan, this is going to be their recipe for success because they are not going to take many threes. Hopefully they're going to make a few threes, but
they want to take more than 3 out of 21 shots, that's for sure.
Here's McLaughlin, deep right side to Cornet. At the right elbow, back to the basket, fakes the hand on Wembanyama. Good job by Marshall to front him up, and they go to Harper from the right side. No good, rebound, and a loose ball foul against San Antonio.
That's the kind of shot they want to force, a good mid-range, long 2. That's what the defense wants to do.
And that was really a good job by Najee Marshall as he was in that lock trail position on Wembanyama coming around. They tried to get him the ball, and they couldn't do it. Here's Derek Lively on the line after Cornet got called for the foul, and that's the second on Cornet. But the Spurs now over the limit. And the first one is good. And this is going to be important, too. Derek Lively, a 63% free throw shooter last year, Brian. They really need him to get over 70%.
And what was he his first year?
He was 50, around 51.
He taking those stair steps up.
You mentioned Sean Sweeney earlier. Sean Sweeney was the one who did a lot of work with Derek Lively on his free throw shooting and basically making sure he keeps the ball up and not bring the ball down when he takes his shot. And he's got 2 free throws made here.
And now Mike Penberthy is the new shooting coach, one of the new additions to the coaching staff this year.
27-23 as we come down on 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Mavericks by 4. Wembanyama against Lively to the cutting Barnes pump fake. Russell flew by from the backside. Great block by Flagg. Up the left side to Christie. On the drive left to right to the trailing Russell. Left to the circle 3. It's in and out. And Wembanyama with a rebound for San Antonio. What a play by Flagg. Those are the types of winning plays that he makes. Harper on the drive, reversing, way short, as challenged by Lively, and then Lively a little out of control, pushing Keldon Johnson to the ground as that ball came free.
A little upset he gave up that offensive board and committed the foul. Mavs trying to attack the offensive boards on their end. Already 4 of them on their side.
And they got 7 points off of those 4 offensive rebounds. San Antonio without an offensive rebound. That foul, the first in the last 2 minutes against the Mavericks. So the Spurs from the right side to inbound the ball. Harper from just inside the right hash mark to Wembanyama. Bounce, got Lively up in the air. Now the give and go to Wembanyama, and he'll stuff it over Lively. And then hits the rim again as Lively was underneath him.
Let him shoot that 3. Let him go inside.
8 first quarter points for Victor Wembanyama. Here is Flagg and an offensive foul on Lively for an illegal screen. So 2 quick fouls on Derek Lively. Washington with 2 fouls. Lively with 2 fouls. Luke Cornet, 3 fouls for San Antonio.
Always seem to call a lot of fouls early in the season, don't they?
Here is McLaughlin. To his right, pushes to Harper. Now to Wembanyama against Lively. Step out by Russell against Lively again. Left-hand dribble. Faking left to the left corner and finds McLaughlin for 3. That's way off. And Flagg with a rebound for the Mavericks away from Wembanyama. Up the middle he comes. Right side Russell. Fake right, goal left. Right corner Christie. Tee up the 3. And that's short. And the rebound taken by Keldon Johnson to San Antonio. 40 seconds remaining in the quarter. 27-25 Mavericks with the lead. Wembanyama fake left, go right, all the way to the rim. Foul by Lively. 3 fouls on Derek Lively.
The strides are so long. It's just unbelievable how he can get to that rim so quickly. Even when you have position, which Lively had, and he still got around him and had to commit the foul to keep from another easy bucket.
And here comes Dwight Powell off the bench. And he will check in after the first of these Wembanyama free throws.
We've already played, Davis 9 minutes. You've got to eat up some center minutes. You want everybody to commit these fouls, since Lively already has 3 himself.
A lot of fouls in the first quarter. 7 fouls against San Antonio, 6 against the Mavericks. This will be the 18th free throw, that shot, as Wembanyama hits the first one. And now we'll try to tie the game.
Powell's job is just body him, make him work for everything he's got.
And Daniel Gafford tried to give it a go in practice the last couple of days. The ankle's still a little sore as Wembanyama misses the second free throw.
He's close.
Marshall the rebound. Maybe Friday night against Washington for Gafford as Russell along the right side draws the foul on McLaughlin. He'll go to the line.
Like what I'm seeing from Russell here early on.
And again, this is a team that is going to struggle not only to make threes, Brian, but to create threes. So they're going to have to try to put their head down like a fullback on 3rd and 1 and go to the basket.
Then that helps your threes, because when you start attacking more and collapse that defense, that opens up things for the offense. Again, 5 of your 23 from 3, that's not the shot profile the Mavs want to see.
Now one more coming for Russell, and that's good. So 6 first quarter points for D'Angelo Russell. The Mavericks a 3-point lead at 29-26. And about a 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. McLaughlin in the jump circle against Christie. To his right. Now mid-post Wembanyama against Marshall. Looking over his right shoulder, down to 4 to shoot. And 3 on the drive, fading away from the nail, and he hits it. With 3.9 seconds left. Now to Russell with 2 and 1 from half court. He fires, and it hits the right of the rim and bounces away, and that will not go against D'Angelo Russell's shot total.
To your chagrin.
New rule in the NBA, but the Mavericks, despite shooting just 39% in the quarter, will take a 1-point lead to the second. San Antonio shot 10 of 18 for just under 56%. The Mavericks with a 29-28 lead on the Dallas Mavericks radio network.
Winning doesn't just happen on game day.
see the two big guys, Anthony Davis and Victor Wembanyama, do their thing with 10 and 11 points respectively. But a really choppy quarter, Brian. A lot of fouls, not a lot of flow for either team. And I don't know that we know a whole lot after 12 minutes.
We don't. The Mavericks not shooting any threes to speak of. 5 of their 23 attempts. Getting into foul trouble. PJ early really hurt him. Now Lively's got 3. He's probably missing the entire second quarter. Powell's going to have to get in some minutes. Offense trying to work through what they want, and they need to build a wall and try to take care of Wembanyama a little bit more effectively.
Mavericks will start the second quarter with Cooper Flagg, Dwight Powell, Klay Thompson, Ryan Nembhard, and Cooper Flagg.
PJ.
Oh, excuse me, PJ. And it will be Dallas ball as they shoot to our left with Ryan Nembhard to bring it up. Bounces to Powell, back to Nembhard. Off to his right side, played by the rookie Carter Bryant, who's checked in to start the second quarter. Thompson, one bounce pull-up, right of the circle, hits the 18-footer.
Yep, Thompson's first point of the game.
Mavericks is 9 of 23 in the first quarter. San Antonio was 10 of 18, 3 of 5 from 3. Harrison Barnes, top of the circle against Washington, playing with 2 fouls. Triple threat position, and rips through to the right, puts the floor to the left, and from the left of the lane, hits the little 7-footer.
Yeah, he's a good veteran for this team, and the Mavs keep pushing the pace.
Flagg right back at the three-point line at the break on the left side. Across the way, pass deflected by Castle. Racing with Flagg, and to the rim, draws the foul, hits the shot, and he'll go to the line for a 3-point play, and that is one terrific defensive play by Stephon Castle.
And Flagg's just going to have to learn and make that pass a little crisper and a little more on point.
First foul on Flagg, and Castle will look for his 10th point of the night.
Part of that learning process of having the ball in his hands and running a team and commit those kind of turnovers.
Well, Mavericks had only 2 turnovers in the first quarter. And that's the first time that San Antonio has scored off of a turnover. Mavericks forced 5 turnovers in the first quarter, got 8 points.
Of course, Flagg hasn't scored yet in this one, but we're not looking at points. We're looking at his overall impact, letting the game come to him. It's a rebound right there.
Castle missing the and one. Nembhard along the left side against Bryant. Picks up the dribble, played by Castle. Now Flagg on a post-up against Bryant. Put it on the floor, and a foul call. Defensive 3-second call violation.
He kind of had a move, too, there. They stopped the play where he was going right towards the bucket.
Well, those two, Flagg and Bryant, played against each other in the Sweet 16 last spring. As Klay Thompson will take the technical free throw and make it. Mavericks and Spurs are tied at 32. Second minute, second quarter. As Washington will inbound from the left side. Washington looking from the foul line, extended into Powell. Put it on the floor, dribble handoff to Thompson. Good closeout by Champagnie. Klay puts it on the floor and off 1 foot wide left, and a loose ball foul against San Antonio. Tony Brothers on the baseline makes the call, and it's on Wembanyama.
Wembanyama makes such a difference on this team. Last year, their net rating was 8 points better with him on the court versus him off the court, and all of it was on the defensive end.
Mavericks will inbound from the left side. Flagg will inbound the ball. And the inbound to Nembhard. High dribble. Able to put his hand on top of the ball, so no palming violation, then throws the ball away as he thought Washington was going to pop out. PJ went toward the corner.
And Jason Kidd told us pregame there's going to be some of that. Just everybody not knowing exactly where they're supposed to be here early on.
Here come the Spurs shooting to our right with Castle. Wembanyama, the handoff to Castle, playing pick and roll. They'll throw it up for Wembanyama, makes the catch, and they'll wave it off as the foul was called before he caught the ball and put it in the basket. Nate Green, the slot official, makes the call.
Yeah, thankfully, because that would have been easy money. It was for Wembanyama.
Dwight Powell gets called for the foul.
That's his job, make it hard.
As Castle from the left side inbounds to Bryant, to Wembanyama, and another foul on Powell.
He actually tripped over his own feet into Powell, and they called a foul on Powell. That's tough.
Already 3 team fouls against the Mavericks in the first 84 seconds of the second quarter. As Barnes from the left hash mark to inbound the ball into Champagny to Wembanyama, bottom of the jump circle to his right as Nembhard ran away from him, let him shoot the three, missed that, Flag with a rebound.
Let him shoot that.
Third rebound for Flag now to Nembhard. The handoff to Flag against Bryant. Drives on Bryant, met by Wembanyama, gives it up. Great job by Wembanyama coming from the weak side. Out to Nembhard, right to Washington, 8 to shoot. Will pull up from 18 from the right, and he hits it.
Smart play by Flag not to force it on Victor right there. They ended up finding a better shot.
I think that's the one thing we've seen about Flag. Obviously, he can score, but he really does not force his play. As Castle down the lane, left-hand layup, no good. A Flag rebound to Nembhard. Nembhard on the drive, in the lane. Back out Washington, right side three from below the break. He hits it.
His deep ball is so important for the Mavs this year.
The second three for the Mavericks tonight in 6 attempts, and they've scored the last 6 to lead 37-32, 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Champagny against Thompson. Handoff Wembanyama. Step out by Thompson. One bounce pull-up, 18-footer, no good. And Flag with 3 consecutive rebounds for the Mavericks.
Forced a long mid-range.
Here's Flag to the top of the arc. Hand off to Nembhard. He'll shoot the 3 over Castle. That's long, and the rebound to Champagny. Ahead to Castle. On the drive, and he'll stuff it as Washington couldn't get back in time.
Transition defense, got to get back.
It's 11 points for Stephon Castle. And the Spurs trailing the Mavericks 37-34. Wembanyama off a Powell to his left, picks up the dribble. Back out to Thompson on the arena logo, 7 to shoot. Along the right side with a Powell screen, then leaning in, trying to draw a foul on Champagny. That's no good. The rebound to Castle, took it away from Powell. And here comes Castle for Wembanyama, and the reverse slam as he ran right down the middle of the lane. Castle found him, and Wembanyama made no mistake. That gets Jason Kidd off the bench to take a timeout, and transition defense is an issue for the Mavericks. 8:28 remaining in the first half. It's the Mavericks 37, the Spurs 36 on the Dallas Mavericks radio network.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward.
Miss out, buy your tickets now at Mavs.com/tickets. Middle, nobody able to put a body on him. 9 fast break points already for San Antonio.
Yeah, and you have now Powell with 2 fouls, Lively with 3 fouls. No Gafford tonight. Could you see Cisse in there for a while? They're playing AD now back in there at the 5.
Davis back in the game out of the timeout with Washington, Russell, Flagg, and Thompson. And the Mavericks shooting to our left. As the inbound to Davis, Russell comes and gets it. Picked up by Castle in half court. Along the right side now, just below the hash mark. They body up. Popping out was Thompson to get it. Left to Davis. Isolation left side. Put it on the floor against Barnes, and he'll hang in the lane, and he's way short on that. Wembanyama with the rebound, his 3rd for the Spurs, and he'll bring it up himself against Davis. On the drive against Davis from the block, and banks it up and in.
Yeah, he took it right to him. He started with Davis in space. Right inside.
And the Spurs go in front, 38-37, 6 straight for San Antonio. Russell to his left off of Davis from the elbow for the pull-up, and that's off the back of the rim. Hits the rim twice. Wembanyama, another rebound. A 7-7 guy that brings it up the way he does, initiating the offense against Washington. And now Davis going to be called for a foul with Barnes trying to run through the lane. And that's 2 fouls on Anthony Davis and 4 fouls against the Mavericks.
That's what makes Wembanyama so special, is his ability to handle it like a guard, but have the size of a center. Worked with Akeem Olajuwon over the summer, and still able to be a point guard. If he stays healthy, he's a problem.
Inbound from the left sideline for the Spurs. Into Wembanyama against Davis. Now to Castle. Got behind the screen of Wembanyama. Short on the 3. Long rebound. Right back to Castle. Against Russell. Fake left. Go right in the lane to the rim. Short. And he's fouled, and he'll go to the line. As Russell gets called for the foul. And it's being called very, very tightly tonight. So it really is in your best interest to try to drive the ball and get yourself to the rim. Of course, for the Mavericks, a huge issue is the presence of Wembanyama. You would think that Anthony Davis would provide that for the Mavericks right now. 14 points for San Antonio in the paint. 12 for the Mavericks so far.
Yeah, you can complain all you want, but you have to play the game that's called. And if this is how they're going to call it, you have to adjust your play defensively and not pick up those silly fouls. And to your point, attack on the other end and draw them.
First one from Castle is good. Now 3 of 6 from the line. Looking for his 13th point of the night, and he can't get it. Davis with a rebound. Spurs now 6 of 11 from the foul line. Washington right wing, Davis out top. Coming around is Thompson left to right. Thompson over the top left corner. Washington take the 3. Off the right of the rim and the rebound. And a loose ball foul. And that's against Wembanyama as Davis went to the ground.
Yeah, pushed him right to the ground fighting for that rebound.
So 2 fouls on Wembanyama. The Mavericks have now missed their last 5 shots from the floor. They're down to 12 of 32 shooting, 37.5%. San Antonio, 55.6%.
Now, this is where I would employ what you were thinking about, which is go at it with those 2 fouls, try to draw that 3rd.
Here's Russell on the drive. He floats it up, and it falls off the rim. He could have stuffed that one, and he instead tried to float it and missed it, and the rebound taken down by Wembanyama. Spinning from right to left, lost the handle, got it back, and now out to Champagnie. To Wembanyama off the left of the lane against Marshall with some help from Davis. Got it out to Champagnie, right to Barnes. Barnes against Washington on the drive on the straight line. Floater no good, wide left. Davis the rebound. Here comes Russell. Got Christie on his left, and he'll pop it for 3, and he got it.
Yeah, and those Christie threes, so important. Great defense on the other end.
Mavericks had gone 3 minutes without scoring before that Max Christie 3, his 2nd of the game, to make it 40-39. Middle of the floor. Harper, Wembanyama, back to the basket against Washington. Now squares up to his left on the drive. Helped by Davis. Banked it, missed it. Russell the rebound. They've got numbers ahead to Marshall. Oh, Marshall had a layup. He tried to be unselfish, and he was too unselfish there as the Mavericks had a 4-on-1.
Yeah, and he kind of raised his hand going, my bad there. But you're right. That help defense from Davis made that shot of Wemby's just a little harder. PJ really playing some aggressive defense there.
And here comes Luke Kornet in the game for the Spurs to replace Wembanyama. 6:09 remaining in the half, and the Mavericks up 40-39. And Champagne's going to leave the game.
Of course, Wemby didn't play this summer for France. This is his first real action in quite some time. You wonder how many minutes he's got in him. It's 14 so far.
Christie from the right side inbound to Russell. He'll drive to his left, into the lane, into the rim, and on the floater, it falls off as he tried to bank it home. Kornet the rebound.
A couple of bunnies.
Had the right idea, just couldn't get the finish. Harper right wing, play by Russell. Back to the left of Vassell against Davis, going to try to drive him. Now to Barnes, left baseline on the drive, and he got all the way to the rim to lay it in as he got around Marshall.
Yeah, Davis was out on the perimeter, nobody underneath.
7 for Harrison Barnes. Spurs go in front, 41-40. Davis out top against Kornet, looking to his left. Left-hand dribble coming around as Christie left to right. Backs up on his dribble. Drop it to Davis. Down to 8 to shoot. Left to Russell. Backdoor, and there is Marshall, and he's fouled. And I tell you what, the one thing we've seen from D'Angelo Russell, and whether that's Christie or Marshall, they've been able to read that play really well and run that backdoor.
Well, that's part of this Jay Triano offense, that constant motion, that cutting to the basket. And that's what he saw right there. There's a smart play by Najee to get towards the bucket. He just couldn't finish. He'll have to earn it at the line.
Keldon Johnson, the foul, his first, the third against the Spurs, and Marshall's free throw is good.
Part of the idea of this motion is that if you keep doing it, A, you're going into the space that's created, try to get some open looks, and B, the defense at some point is going to be breaking down.
Second one for Marshall, who averaged over 13 a game last year for the Mavericks and shot 81% from the line, makes 2 free throws there, and the Mavericks in front 42-41, 5:25 remaining in the first half. Harper just over the line on the right. Pushes it to Kornet, back to Harper, on the drive, got a great screen, changed hands left to right, couldn't finish it. Harper got the rebound back against Washington, and Washington's going to be called for his third foul.
Oh, he looked pretty vertical to me. Mavs are checking behind their bench here.
Jason Kidd looking up at the Jumbotron.
Oh, he moved, yeah. He moved into position.
Nah, I think that's a block. I don't think you challenge that one.
Boy.
The way this game is going, I know it's a big foul.
Now, if you do make him look at it, his right arm actually swipes onto PJ, maybe proximate. They could call a flagrant there.
Too late, though, now as Harper has the ball and misses the first one. He, of course, and Cooper Flagg, the top 2 picks in the draft, the first time since Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell were the top 2 picks in the 2015 draft to play on opening night.
Well, and of course, the 2 last teams, as you mentioned, because he's the second pick left in that draft lottery, were San Antonio and Houston. San Antonio, a team that 3 of the past 7 times they've been in the lottery had moved up to number 1. The Mavericks, who hadn't had a number 1 since their expansion year and had never moved up in the draft lottery. You would put Cooper Flagg on this team.
Harper missed them both, and a good traffic rebound by Washington. San Antonio just 6 of 13 from the line here in the first half in a 1-point game. Davis at the top. Tight curl right to left for Russell. Now back to his right against Vassell. Right corner. Show and go into the lane. Marshall got it. Floater, no good. Another foul. And it has been a first half foul fest on opening night.
Keep being aggressive. That's how they're going to call the game. Play to that advantage and get inside and draw them.
The 24th foul called in the first half. Both teams have been whistled for 12. And these will be the 29th and 30th free throws shot. Dallas 13 of 15 from the line, now 13 of 16 as Marshall misses the first one. And as mentioned, San Antonio just 6 of 13 from the line.
We always see this early in the season. They have their points of emphasis. They want to keep the game tight, set a tone. It always eases up. I don't really like that trend, but that's the way it is.
The Mavericks 43 and the Spurs 41 after Marshall hit the second free throw. Kornet pitches it backward. Vassell met by Christie. Turnaround right of the lane. Short offensive rebound, and Kornet on the weak side puts it in to tie the game at 43. Davis hand off to Russell, right to left. Rescreen by Russell, that screen rejected. Russell on the drive, wild floater, no good. Tip Davis, no good. Johnson the rebound for San Antonio. Here comes Keldon Johnson, in and out to his left, spinning right in the lane. Marshall right there, throws it over the top. Barnes, left corner 3, rims the basket. Off the floor, Anthony Davis with his 9th rebound for the Mavericks. Here's Russell to his left. Pass deflected, got to Washington. Catch and shoot. Three from the left is good.
There it is. Another big three for PJ and a timeout on the floor.
10 for Washington, 8 here in the second quarter, including a pair of threes. And with exactly 4 minutes to go after a Spurs timeout, the Mavericks 46, the Spurs 43 on the Dallas Mavericks Radio Network. And that is the surprising score on opening night. Because there are a lot of people, Brian, who really like that Clippers team from coach on down.
They stay healthy. They should be a problem, but you never know when the real games tip off.
46-43, Mavericks with a three-point lead. Exactly 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Mavericks are shooting just 36.8%, 5 of 15, 33% here in the second quarter. San Antonio and even 50%, but just 7 of 16 here in the second quarter. And the Spurs with it as they shoot to our right. Here's Harper against Christie. He beat him to the rim, and he laid it up and in. Boy, there's some serious acceleration there from the son of the former NBA All-Star Ron Harper, Dylan Harper. Here's Cooper Flagg back in the game. He drives, kicks it to Marshall. Drives right to left, lost the handle, got it back. Now to Davis behind the right elbow against Wembanyama. Put it on the floor, fakes the shot, leans in, draws the foul, and that's the third on Wembanyama.
Yeah, you got to call that. If you're going to call it the other way, they did early when same thing happened on the other end. Call that. That's now, as you mentioned, 3 with 3:30. Looks like they keep him in for the time being.
Mitch Johnson and Sean Sweeney on the San Antonio sideline in deep discussion as Anthony Davis 4 of 4 from the line. 10 points, 9 rebounds in the first half. All of his points in the first quarter and uses it all on the first free throw. Front rim, board, around and down. 3.5 minutes remaining in game of the second quarter of the first game of a 5-game homestand for the Mavericks. Washington Wizards in town on Friday night. And Davis' second free throw is good. Right now, the difference in the game is the volume and conversion from the free throw line for the Mavericks. 16 of 19 from the line. They're just 6 of 13 for the Spurs.
Point of emphasis.
Dylan Harper, left side of the floor, cuts to his right. On the drive, floated, blocked it, goaltending. And I don't know that Cooper Flagg had to come over and try to block that. I don't think that was going in.
Yeah, and he got a little bit of the rim there when he went up, shaking it off with his right hand.
Dylan Harper with his 4th point. Mavericks bench has outscored the Spurs 19-6. Here is Davis, left elbow on the drive, and he went to the ground. Looked like Cornette pulled his the chair out from him a little bit, and Davis behind the play. Cornette inside the arc, left elbow across the way. Harper will drive on Flagg, dribbled it off his knee, got it back to the right to Wembanyama, to Harper again against Flagg. Right side of the lane, Wembanyama, shot fake. He got Washington up in the air, reverses, and slams it with a foul. An incredible finish by Wembanyama.
Sent 2 people the wrong direction and then draws the foul and the reverse slam to finish it off. What a play.
What a play that was. A 6'3" guy, you'd look at it and you'd say that was impressive.
Washington and Flagg both went left. He went right. And then AD came over to try to stop the play, and he still had the strength, that added strength that he's put on over the break to reverse slam it.
And that foul on Davis is his 3rd as Klay Thompson comes back in for Washington. So 3 on Washington, Lively, and Davis for the Mavericks. 3 on Wembanyama and Cornette. Like all the big players, the tall players, are in serious foul trouble as Wembanyama completes the 3-point play.
Yeah, that's not what we're here to see.
18 points for Wembanyama here in the first half of the Spurs in front 50-48 with 2:50 remaining in the half. Pass from Marshall to Flagg. Back to Marshall, left to Christie. Extra pass, Thompson, left corner, 3-way short. And the rebound taken by Keldon Johnson. Ahead to Vassell, left corner. Harper, met by Marshall, got it back out. Vassell for 3, rims the basket. Tip, no good. Tip again, no good. Rebound in the lane, and finally run down by Davis. A first half double-double for him with 12 points and 10 rebounds. Davis inside the arc on the left. Now a 20-footer, and that's an air ball that went about 18 feet. Just a bad shot. No offense run by the Mavericks there.
He almost had a carry there, and he's never had a flow to what he wanted to do. Forced it up.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. Wembanyama, right side of the floor, the dribble against Davis. This is dangerous with Davis having 3 fouls. Wembanyama knows that. Put it on the floor. Spins, fakes, leans in, draws the foul, hits the shot. He'll go to the line for the and 1.
Well, you called it. He's got to know with those 3, he just can't play that tightly and take the bait. If he's going to shoot it, let him shoot it over you, but don't jump and let him get you in the air. You knew that is exactly what he was trying to do there, and now that is 4.
4 on Anthony Davis. He'll have to leave as Dwight Powell will come in for him with 1:45 remaining in the half. And San Antonio looking to take a 5-point lead.
Just have to have that awareness that those 2 points are not more valuable
than you being on the floor.
Yeah, than that foul right there. And you knew Wembanyama knows he's got those 3. If he just does that pump fake, he's going to get you in the air. As soon as you're in the air, boom, he's going right in your body. That SGA move.
That was a bad sequence for Davis. A bad shot at one end and a bad foul at the other. And the 3-point play converted by Wembanyama. Back-to-back and 1s. San Antonio with an 8-0 run here with 1:40 remaining in the half and up 5. Powell to his right. Thompson had it tipped away from him. Here comes Vassell on the drive to the rim. Hang, bang, score with a foul. And another and 1 opportunity for San Antonio.
Defense turning into offense. Takes care and breaks up that dribble handoff. Takes it all the way coast to coast and then draws that. Yeah, Thompson's just got to let that go.
Well, Devin Vassell looking for his 10th point. San Antonio with 55 points, 49 of them have come from their 5 starters.
Well, I don't know how many fouls is the record for a first half Mavs history, but they've got 15.
And that foul shot missed. And that right now is helping the Mavericks stay in the game. It's a 10-0 San Antonio run, their second 10-0 run of the game. Now Flagg lost the handle on a crossover, and Keldon Johnson with the steal. Ahead to Harper. He'll drive, and he'll lay it in. And Jason Kidd will take a timeout, and this last half minute to 40 seconds has been nothing short of tragic for the Mavericks.
You don't want to have to take a timeout with 1:16 left to go in the half here, and he just has to burn that to stop this 12-0 run and try to get some semblance of cohesion.
Included back-to-back and ones from Victor Wembanyama, a 21.7 rebound first half for him. Anthony Davis, 12 points, 10 rebounds for the Mavericks, but just 3 of 13 shooting. Mavericks' last field goal came about 2.5 minutes ago at the 4-minute mark. Their last points with 3.5 minutes to play, so basically about 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And the Mavericks have now had a couple of real droughts here, a 3-minute drought in the first quarter, a 4-minute drought here without making a basket, and down to just 34% shooting, Brian. 14 of 41, only 11 three-point attempts. They have made 4, which is better than their overall percentage. But again, speaking to Wembanyama's presence around the rim, it's just difficult to score against him.
10 of their shots are from the mid-range out of their 41. That's way too many. But they can't find in the rim. They're 10 of 30 inside the arc, 30%, 34% overall.
The Mavericks are just 6 of 20 in the paint in the first half. As Thompson brings it up, gets it to Powell. Coming around is Christie right to left at the nail. Left to Marshall on the drive. Cut off by Johnson, back out to Christie. Shot clock at 7, a minute to play in the half. Powell looking, 5 to shoot. Thompson comes and gets it. Met by Wembanyama, put it on the floor. Oh, he got inside it, but he couldn't finish it. And Wembanyama got the rebound. Here comes Vassell 4-on-2. Down the middle comes Castle. He missed that one. And a foul. And that's going to be against the Mavericks, and that's going to put Castle on the line.
Just looking at the shooting chart of the Spurs compared to the Mavs, they have red full dots all around the basket. They are just driving it at every opportunity.
The foul on Najee Marshall. The free throws coming for Castle. And the Mavericks are 16 of 19 from the line. San Antonio is 8 of 16. I mean, this could be much, much, much worse if San Antonio was hitting its free throws a year ago. San Antonio, a team that shot 77% from the line. There's another miss from Castle, who was just 3 of 8 from the line here in the first half.
They're also only 3 of 9 from 3. 9 of their 43 attempts have been from deep. They're doing their damage inside.
Again, the Mavericks were hoping to play big, stay big, but fouls are just killing them. 16 fouls in the first half. And Castle splits the free throws. 13 straight for San Antonio. Final 45 seconds of the half. And the Spurs up by 10. Cooper Flagg, who has not scored in the first half. And they jump out on him with Johnson. Finds Powell in the lane. Kick it back out. Thompson, right side 3. Can't get it to go. Came right back to him. Tried again, and he got it to go for the right corner for 3.
Stops the bleeding a little bit. Close out the half.
58 to 51. And a 4-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Castle to his left on the slow dribble. Watched by Flagg. Down to 8 to shoot on the drive. Left baseline. Flagg right there. Nice wraparound pass. And the finish. A beautiful finish there from Dylan Harper. With 6 seconds left. Now Thompson on the drive and dribbled it off his foot out of bounds.
Well, 3 seconds left. Chance for the Spurs to do something, especially with the heave rule. Again, any heave now doesn't count on a player's individual stats. They're encouraged to take that shot. They can set up a play and get a good look here. Probably throw it deep to Wembanyama since he's so tall and do a little hook and ladder.
2.8 seconds remaining. Keldon Johnson looks, will throw it short to Castle. He'll run it up from behind half court, straight away, way short, and that will do it for the second quarter. San Antonio, a 15-3 run to end the half. They outscored the Mavericks in the second 32-22, and they hold the Mavericks shooting to just 34%, as San Antonio will take a 60-51 lead to the locker room.
Well, they played overall pretty well until obviously that, terrible end of this second quarter, and that's what Jason Kidd and his staff are going to be imploring their team to figure it out, keep to their game plan offensively, and try to just put some kind of pressure at the rim without fouling. 16 first half fouls and so many players in foul trouble. Anthony Davis with 4. Does he even start the second half?
Davis with 4 fouls. Lively played just 6 minutes in the first quarter. Picked up 3 fouls. Went to the bench. Never saw the floor in the second quarter. P.J. Washington picked up 2 fouls in the first 2.5 minutes of the game. Picked up a 3rd foul. He's on the bench, although he did score 10 points in the half, including 8 in the second quarter. Davis and Washington, the only double-figure scores for the Mavericks with 12 and 10 points, respectively. The Spurs shoot 54.5%, but just 3 of 9 from 3. Complete domination at the rim. Wembanyama, 21 points, 8 rebounds on 8 of 14 shooting. Stephon Castle, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and if he'd made his free throws, again, this could have been a whole lot worse, just 4 of 9 from the free throw line. The Mavericks have beaten the Spurs the last 2 years on opening night. They've got some work to try to make it 3 straight on opening night. Halftime here at the American Airlines Center, the Mavericks trailing the San Antonio Spurs 60-51. Tyler Sloan at the Modelo Sports Desk with highlights from the first half and the rest of a very busy first full night in the NBA coming your way next on the Dallas Mavericks. The points, they got outworked, they got outthought, and they got outplayed.
They've got to build a wall and get in front of Wembanyama, force the ball out of his hands. Like the Giannis wall, they've got to build a Wemby wall. They can't be late and then fouling late because he's already gotten by him.
Mavericks ball to begin the third quarter. They shoot to our right as P.J. Washington will bring it up. Mavericks in white tonight, San Antonio in black. Cooper Flagg yet to score. Drops it to Derek Lively. Picked up 3 fouls early and never came back in the game from the midway point of the first quarter. And now Flagg with his first NBA points off the curl from 17 feet straight away.
Yeah, Jason Kidd set that play up just for him to get off the schneid, and he is on the scoreboard as a professional player.
60-53. Wembanyama, top of the arc. Between his legs, drop pass to Vassell at the right elbow to Barnes, and now Wembanyama left side of the lane against Lively, rolling and then fading away from 17. That's way off. Hit the right side of the board. Flagg with his 7th rebound. Flagg on the drive into Barnes, and that's blocked by Wembanyama. And loose on the floor off the hands of Lively, picked up by Barnes. Ahead to Castle and up top for Vassell, and he cups it and dunks it.
Doesn't matter where Wemby is. Even as a help defender, he can come back and block that shot.
Second block by Wembanyama as Flagg spins. And from the silhouette right side, no good. Rebound tipped by Lively, the weak side of Washington, to Flagg again. And Flagg will turn and shoot over Castle, and that's way short. Castle the rebound. 62-53 San Antonio as Castle lost it out of bounds. Flagg got a hand on that, knocked it off of Castle. Castle's hands out of bounds.
I think part of the message from Jason Kidd's have would be don't be so unselfish. Go ahead and take some shots. 3 already in the second half.
And now flag, wearing number 32, will bring it up to Davis, playing with 4 fouls. Drops to Lively, top of the circle, back to the basket, looking for the pitch. Got it to Thompson, moving to his left, and away from Vassell, and off 1 foot, hitting a tough 12-footer.
Yeah, because the roll man, Davis, had occupied Wembanyama, so the shot was open.
And that was first non-Cooper flag field goal attempt here in the third quarter. Vassell will try another 3. That's in and out. And a long rebound at the foul line taken by Washington. Ahead the flag up the right side. Got a Lively screen at the right block. Trying to lob it to Lively. That's not going to work when Wembanyama's in the middle of the lane like that. He's got the ball. No look. Left corner. Champagnie 3 is good.
Wemby as distributor.
On the no look, nonetheless. 65-55, Washington in the lane with the left hand, and he rolls that home. Nice finish to the top of the charge circle against Champagnie. And it's 12 for Washington.
And a little Gortat screen boxed Wemby out of the play.
65-57, Castle across the floor left to right. Back to Wembanyama. Chest pass left, Champagnie. Good closeout by Flag. Back to Wembanyama. Down to 7 to shoot as he dribbles back toward half court. Down to 5 to shoot. Now on the drive against Lively. Left block, scoops it and scores it. Extending with those incredibly long arms. I mean, literally, he was behind the block at the left of the lane when he let that ball go, and it still went in. Now Washington to Lively, little jump hook, and Wembanyama swats that shot into Castle's hands. Here comes Wembanyama up the right side, the third block for Victor Wembanyama. Second of the quarter, now between his legs. Stepping back for 3 and hits it with a foul on Lively. Incredible stuff from Victor Wembanyama.
And he's so long that even if you don't land in his space, you land in his space. Because when he gets to the ground, you make any kind of contact.
Are you kidding me? The block on Lively, the other end, actually was with his wrist. It was not even with his hand. It was with his wrist. And now at the offensive end, a crossover between his legs, step back, hit a 3, draw the foul.
Well, here's what's interesting about that is Lively didn't really jump forward at all. He jumped up and down. But because Wemby is so long, when he fell, they hit legs. I didn't see that.
71-57, here is Flag, and Wembanyama changed that shot. Came down with the ball up the right side. Castle, good job by Davis playing the passing lane and forced the turnover from Castle.
And what you've got to do is you've got to go in with your offhand, draw that contact with your shoulder, and hope that he's not vertical. Oh, steal right there.
And at the other end, and that's missed by Champagnie. And the rebound of Washington, 71-57. 3.5 minutes in, third quarter, Washington fouled, and he will score. And he'll have a chance at a three-point play.
Barnes pushed him on the way up there, and he was able to get it.
Nice finish.
And I think the word you use, shell shock, just, again, this is the first regular season action we've seen from Wemby in quite some time after that blood clot last year sideline of the remainder of the season. And he's an improved player now in his third season. And remember, we saw his very first game in San Antonio against Derek Lively, who outplayed him in that game.
And remember, he got into foul trouble in that game and really didn't become a factor until the fourth quarter. He scored 9 of his 15 in the fourth quarter of that game. But he's never really hurt the Mavericks. But he's hurting them tonight as Washington completes the three-point play. And that's 15 for PJ, and 11-point Spurs lead, 71-68, 20 remaining in the half. Here's Castle right in the lane. Backs up against Lively on the switch. Looking to attack. Stop and go dribble. Met by Lively. Forces it up. Hit the front rim. Lively gets the rebound to Davis. Here comes Davis up the right side. They need to get him going. Just 3 of 13 shooting in the first half. Backing down on Champagnie. And he can't hit the little runner on the rebound. And another foul on Lively. As Wembanyama grabbed the rebound, Lively pushed him to the ground. And that's 5 fouls on Derek Lively.
Yeah, I don't know that you want to. That's his fourth, but I don't know that you. Oh, you're right. No, excuse me. That is 5. I don't know that you want to foul him 85 feet from the basket.
No. You know what? There's just been a lack of court IQ tonight in a lot of ways for the Mavericks. Now, Wembanyama certainly has made life miserable for them in the lane, But some of the fouls that have been committed tonight, some of the shots that have been taken have not been the ideal shots, have not been in the rhythm that they're looking for. Now Wembanyama against Davis playing with 4 fouls. Against Marshall on the switch as he's checked in the game to replace Lively. Wembanyama backing down, dotted line, no good, draws a foul, and he will go to the line. Najee Marshall in, Derek Lively out. That's who's in and who's out. That's presented by In-N-Out Burger. At In-N-Out, that's what a hamburger is all about.
He was playing good defense, but if you get him going backwards, he's going to draw that contact. That's a foul every time. It's just so hard to guard there.
6 of 7 from the line for Wembanyama tonight. Spurs 10 of 19 from the free throw line. First one is good.
He's got 28 and 10 with a free throw to come with 7:39 to go in the third. The NBA is going to have an issue here if the Lakers maybe don't have a good record, but Luka's amazing. San Antonio maybe doesn't have a record, but Wembanyama's amazing. The MVP tied to team record may be a thing of the past.
Man, it's the first night of the season.
I'm just saying.
I'm not ready to go there. Can we just watch a little more ball first? 73-60. Thompson from the slot for 3, no good. Offensive rebound. Davis knocked it off his own foot and out of bounds. Wembanyama already with 8 points and 2 blocks here in the third quarter. And we've only played 4.5 minutes. 73-60. San Antonio with the lead. Only won 13 games on the road last year. They were 13 and 23. Show and go Wembanyama. Now against Davis. Stepping through on Davis. Left block. Banked it up and in.
Yeah, Davis let him shoot it.
And it was off the wrong foot, too, which makes it even more incredible. 75-60. Biggest lead for San Antonio. Now Wembanyama with a foul on Davis. A bad foul 20 feet from the basket, and that's 4 fouls on him. And that leads to a timeout by Jason Kidd with 6:56 remaining in the third quarter. Can the Mavericks find some answers from within as they trail the Spurs 75-60 on the Dallas Mavericks Radio Network? Get your family fun pack now at Mavs.com/ family pack. 6:56 remaining third quarter. San Antonio, its biggest lead of the night, 15 points. They lead the Mavericks 75-60.
You know, that last foul of Wembanyama, so it was a feed into the elbow to Anthony Davis. He went over him, kind of bumped him, tried to almost like an over-the-back call. But that's 4 fouls. That's going to sit him for the rest of this quarter, I would assume.
You would think, and that would certainly help, as Wembanyama has the last 10 San Antonio points, 31 points, and 10 rebounds in 2.5 quarters of play.
As I mentioned in the first half, they're a +8 with him on the floor as opposed to off the floor, but all 8 of those points per 100 possessions were on the defensive end. So their offense is about the same either way, but you can take advantage now. Cornette still very good at the rim, second best in the league in terms of opponent field goal percentage last year, but obviously it's a total different story. If the game's going to be called like this, start attacking.
D'Angelo Russell in the game for the Mavericks out of the timeout, playing with Washington, Flag, Davis, and Max Christie as they shoot to our right. Russell with the ball right to Flag. He beats Vassell. He got to the rim. Oh, and he did not draw a foul from Cornette, who went straight up in the air. Ball hit just the left side of the rim. Vassell the other way on the run and able to bank it in high off the glass.
Just talked about how good Cornette is in that rim protection. What you got to do there is draw Cornette up so you can alley-oop it to Davis.
Cooper Flag just 1 of 8 in his NBA debut. Here's Davis straddling the three-point line, left of the circle. Hand off to Christie. Lost the handle out of bounds with Champagnie reaching in to knock it away and off his knee.
That's just a little thing. It's like a wide receiver looking ahead and dropping a pass. You make that fumble, that's a turnover.
10 turnovers for the Mavericks. 9 points for San Antonio off the prior 9 miscues. 6:20 remaining in the third. Cornette right elbow coming around Vassell left to right, and he'll pull up from 15. That short rebound Washington, and he'll run it the other way. Backpedaling is Cornette, and Washington dribbled it off his foot and out of bounds.
Cornette is an underrated defender there in the post.
San Antonio gave him a 4-year contract to leave the Celtics, where for the last 3 years he had averaged about 18 minutes a game. Vassell right to left. Flag made him give it up, and now gets it back from Champagnie against Flag. To his right, to the flaring Champagnie. Extra pass Castle, right to left on the drive, and that's a goaltend against Anthony Davis as that ball hit the rim first, and the backboard too.
I think the Spurs knew what they were doing and earmarking Cornette as the backup. Similar style play they wanted.
I think they knew. And, you know, they love the idea as Russell has it taken away. Castle reaching and stealing and scoring with a foul and a chance at a three-point play. And it has all gone downhill and deep into the ground for the Mavericks here in the third quarter.
Another bad foul. Play to the rim like that.
San Antonio, a 16-3 run. They had a 15-3 run to end the first half. They had a 10-0 run in the first quarter, and it is a 21-point lead. And indeed, in the midst of this 16-3 run, they have scored 10 consecutive points.
Halfway through the third quarter, and they have 23 fast break points.
Castle for the and 1, and that's no good, and a lane violation against the Mavericks, against D'Angelo Russell. So Castle will get to try it again.
Mental mistake followed by a mental mistake.
The mistakes have just compounded themselves. Really, from the 3.5-minute mark of the second quarter, the Mavericks had a 3-point lead at that point at 48-45, and it has just disintegrated from there. And Castle takes advantage of the extra chance to score 82-60, 11 straight for San Antonio, 17-3 run. Here's Davis, left of the circle. Christie comes around left to right. Hook it back. Pass deflected, but it got to Russell with 7 to shoot in the jump circle. Nothing happening for the Mavericks right now. Russell putting his head down, driving left. Hook it back out. Davis, 1 on the clock. Takes the 3. Got it as he beat the clock. And that's the first Dallas basket in nearly 3.5 minutes.
Out Wembanyama. They got to take advantage of this time on their offensive end.
Davis with 15 points. Mavericks 6-3 of the game. They are 6 of 15 from 3. The percentage is fine. The volume of shots is not. Castle will try a deep three. Left slot. That's no good. Cornette tips the rebound to the left corner. Castle has it. Now to Cornette. Watched by Davis. Dribble handoff. Castle against Washington. Drop it off. Cornette in the lane. Davis blocked the shot. Came down with the ball. And here comes Davis up the right side. Davis against Cornette. Right to left drive. Hanging in the lane. No foul call. Wanted that foul. Threw it off the board. Cornette grabbed the rebound.
They do have to call it on both ends.
Davis 4 of 16 from the floor tonight. 82-63. 4:15 remaining in the third. Castle on the drive. Throw it up top. Intended for Cornette. Davis got it. The other way, Russell in the middle. Washington to the basket. No good. Followed up. Flag couldn't finish it as he hits the deck, and they run the other way. San Antonio's got numbers. Cornette, handoff Vassell against Christie. Back to Cornette, not looking to shoot. Across the way to Champagnie, who's never afraid to shoot, and he's fouled by Flag on a three-point attempt.
Initiated contact, fell down. You're seeing that a lot more. You're actually seeing it taught. J.J. Redick taught his players to do it in that final preseason game. Jason Kidd was imploring the refs not to fall for those flops, and this is another one.
Well, he's not talking to official Nate Green, who made that call. The Mavericks, I believe, Brian, in all 4 games in the preseason, fouled a three-point shooter, and that's now happened twice tonight, as Wembanyama was fouled shooting a three.
You're seeing basically the offensive player, anytime there's any contact, they're going straight to the ground, forcing that call.
Cooper Flag picking up his second foul. Champagnie hits his first 2 free throws. And now Brandon Williams will check in the game for the Mavericks, as Jason Kidd looking for any spark to try to get his team going. They trailed 60-51 at halftime. They're down by 21 right now. Champagnie trying to make it a 22-point game.
I don't know if the initial plan was to have him play tonight. He wasn't a full participant in all of camp, but they want his speed in there to try to push that pace.
Champagnie 2 out of 3, missed the third one. Davis the rebound to Washington up the left side, across the way to Williams, to the trailing Davis at the top of the arc, thought about the three, passed it up to Christie from right to left and back to his right on the drive, back out to Davis, will try a three right of the circle, and he hit it.
It's important for him to keep that defense honest by hitting those threes. Timeout on the floor.
Mitch Johnson will take the timeout. Davis' second three of the quarter, and he has an 18-point game, 3:36 remaining in the third. But right now, San Antonio in control. The Spurs 84, the Mavericks 66 on the Dallas Mavericks Radio Network.
Chime knows you're putting in the work, but your bank, are you?
+6 since Wembanyama left the floor 3.5 minutes ago. 84-66, Spurs shoot to our left, Castle along the right side. In the middle of the floor to Cornette, straight away outside the arc, backhand pass finds Johnson in the lane, and on the run, Keldon Johnson able to score over P.J. Washington.
That's playing with one big, drag AD out, no one at the rim.
20-point lead. Williams, he'll drive against Castle, and a blocking foul is called on Stephon Castle.
That's why Williams is in there to apply pressure inside, draw those fouls, take advantage of the way this game's being called.
Dwight Powell and Jaden Hardy checks in for the first time, with Washington and Davis going to the floor. Owners of 33 of the Mavericks' 66 points. Here's Powell, handoff to Christie. Coming around is Hardy, left to right, get to the lane, dotted line, pulled the string short, rebound to Dylan Harper, to Castle. He lost the handle, but the trailing Harper got it back. He missed the layup, and Cooper Flagg with a rebound. Up the left side, the Hardy drop pass Flagg, put his head down, turned back by Champagnie into the lane. He'll hang it, he'll score, took his time, got the shot to fall.
Yeah, he's going to need to be a little bit more aggressive here, get some scoring in.
86-68, just the fourth point for Flagg, his second basket in 10 attempts. Castle whips it left corner, Johnson three, hits it.
Continue to close out on those three-point shooters.
Keldon Johnson, 5 straight points, 89-68. Spurs now 6 of 14 from deep. Powell to Flagg, off of Powell, met by Cornette, turnaround right of the lane, hits it from 8 feet.
One-legged fadeaway, tip your hat.
89-70. Middle of the floor, it's Harper. Screen left by Cornette, he rolls. Harper keeps the dribble, met by Powell, trying to step through, and does! Changing hands to his offhand, his right hand, and banking it in at the left of the rim.
Number 2 pick saying, don't forget about me.
And in double figures now with 10 is Dylan Harper, 91-70. Here is Hardy, right corner Williams, drives right to left on Castle. That's blocked by Cornette, and punched ahead to Johnson, middle to Castle, left corner to the flaring Champagnie for 3. That's long, an offensive rebound. Johnson got foul going up.
Yeah, Christie's got to put a body on him. Make sure they can't get those offensive boards. That's their 6th already.
And actually, they did not call a foul. I thought they were going to do that. They'll stay out of bounds. Brandon Williams getting credit for a blocked shot as Castle from the left sideline, foul line extended. Inbound to Cornette. To Harper, turns the corner up top, and Cornette banked it off the back of the rim all the way beyond the arc, where Champagnie ran it down for San Antonio. Down to 9 to shoot, left to right. Castle at the foul line, lost the handle, and the steal by Powell, and Powell threw it away. Loose on the floor, Flagg goes down to get the ball, and he's going to be tied up for a jump ball.
Oh, what a great hustle play. Flagg was running down as he's supposed to, and Powell just threw it too softly, and Flagg dives to the ground to get that. We've seen him do that in practice. We've seen that do in the preseason, sacrificing his body in front of 2 Spurs to get that ball.
P.J. Washington off the Mavericks bench to check in. And Powell will sit down. So how about this lineup? I know that didn't see a whole lot of time in practice in the month of October. Williams, Christie, Flagg, Washington, and Jaden Hardy.
And PJ at the 5.
It'll be Johnson and Flagg to jump it up. 4-inch height advantage for Flagg. Nate Green will toss it up at center court. Up in the air, and Flagg will tip it backward to Washington with 1:10 remaining in the third. To Hardy, left corner Flagg against Cornette. Nice drive, fake right, go left, pump, reverse it, and score it! Beautiful finish by Flagg. Beautiful drive, beautiful finish. He's got 8. 91-72. Vassell to Harper against Williams. Screen by Cornette. Harper stops. Had to get it back to the corner to Johnson, then out top, and Vassell will drive it. He'll hang, fading away, front rimmed it, rebound fought for. Johnson got it as he outworked everybody underneath the basket in a white shirt. He's able to score it.
When you play small, you give up rebounding.
7 for Johnson, all here in the third, 93-72. Here's Flagg, one bounce, pull up 3. That's long and right, and the rebound taken by San Antonio's Harper. A second and a half difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Harper in the middle of the floor in the jump circle. As they flatten it out, a 1-4 set. Harper with Champagnie up to set the screen. Goes to his right. Williams switches. Harper will drive him. Harper hangs in. Washington with the block shot. 2 seconds and 1. Christie, can he get it away in time? He did not, as the third quarter will come to an end. But that's a terrific defensive play by P.J. Washington to block that shot. But San Antonio, a dominant third quarter. They outscored the Mavericks 33-21 in the middle 2 quarters tonight. They've outscored the Mavericks 65-43. And we go to the fourth with the Spurs leading the Mavericks 93-72 on the Dallas Mavericks radio network.
Fly to Philly.
When Victor was on the bench.
Yeah, they didn't take advantage of that time, and Victor is checking back into this game to start the fourth quarter. 3 bigs in here: Powell, Lively, Davis. 11 fouls amongst those. And as Mike Tyson said, you have a plan till you get hit in the face. They got hit in the face by Victor Wembanyama, and these 24 fast break points by the Spurs whipping around him. They've got to respond here in the fourth.
Well, the Mavericks were hoping to force turnovers, get transition baskets. Only 9 turnovers forced, 12 points off those turnovers. 12 turnovers for the Mavericks for 14 San Antonio points. The Mavericks begin the fourth quarter with Brandon Williams, Klay Thompson, P.J. Washington, Cooper Flagg, and Anthony Davis on the floor. San Antonio will get the first possession. They shoot to our left. And Jordan McLaughlin, the backup point guard in the game. Mavericks showing the 2-2-1 full court press. And that's not necessarily to steal the ball. It's to try to slow the offense down. Take a while to get into the possession as Harper drops to Wembanyama against Davis. One-on-one to his left. Some help from Thompson. Gave it up McLaughlin on the drive. Dunker spot Johnson. Put it up and in as he got inside of everybody.
And when you make him give up the ball, that gives the advantage to the offense for San Antonio. Biggest
lead of the game for the Spurs. 23 points, 95-72. Here's Davis. Wembanyama playing off him in the lane on the block. Washington double team, kick it back out. Davis will take a 3, hit the front rim, and the rebound to Johnson. to Barnes. Over the head pass right. Harper on the fly. Harper Euro-stepped him. Around flag, and he laid it up and in. Again, using his offhand.
Really good young talent on this Spurs roster.
Dylan Harper averaged 19 a game for Rutgers last year. He and Ace Bailey, 2 of the top 5 picks in the draft, as Williams finds Davis on a nice pocket pass, and Davis with a little floater from just below the foul line.
He's got 20 now.
And just moved past 19,000 points for his career. He needed 19 tonight to do that. 97-74, Harper on the drive, drop it, Wembanyama, and he flushes it with 2 hands. And Brian, he was at the dotted line when he took off.
I was just about to say, that's unbelievable. Flat-footed.
33 for Wembanyama, 99-74. Thompson circling right, elbow jumper too hard. Wembanyama his 12th rebound. 12 of 18 shooting. 1 of 2 from 3, 8 of 9 from the line. 33 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 block shots for Wembanyama, who now has it against Flagg, who draws a foul, as just put the arm bar not in the small of the back, but up around his shoulder.
Yeah, 33 points, 18 shots, 12 rebounds, 24 minutes.
Unbelievable. I mean, that's freakish right there. As Harper will inbound for the Spurs. Harper with Thompson jumping up and down to McLaughlin, spins off of Williams, back out, Barnes at the top, over Washington for 3, in and out, rebound, Davis, and Harper go for it, and a loose ball foul, I believe.
Yeah, pretty easy call there, yep.
And Tony Brothers with the call, as Harper picks up the foul, 3 fouls on him, first one on the Spurs here in the 4th quarter. As Flagg will inbound the ball.
5 games in 8 days. You wonder if they can't get something until about the 5-minute mark. Maybe you're still down 25. You pull the plug.
Williams will bring it up along the left side. As Thompson goes through. Some help now from Wembanyama. Scoop at the Thompson right corner. Inside the arc off the pull-up, and he hits the 18-footer.
And Thompson now in double figures.
10 points for him. Just 4 of 13 shooting, though, for Thompson tonight. 99-76. Harper, middle of the floor, screen Wembanyama. Lost the handle, got it back. Now to Wembanyama against Flagg. Kick it back, and Harper, right wing 3. That's too hard. And Thompson the rebound for the Mavericks. 9:20 remaining. Thompson to Flagg, drives on Harper, draws the foul, put it up with the left hand. He'll go to the line to shoot. First time that Flagg will be on the line tonight.
And no hesitation. Saw the smaller guy on and went right back at him and drew the foul.
Cooper Flagg took only 2 shots in the first half and did not score. He took 11 shots in the 3rd quarter, was 4 of 11. And actually, they call that foul on the floor, so no free throws for Flagg. And Williams is stripped by the veteran McLaughlin, the former Minnesota Timberwolf, to the rim, and he laid it up and in.
And just swiped him. 7th steal for the Spurs.
And the 13th turnover for the Mavericks. For 16 San Antonio points. Here's Washington. Left to Williams. Hand off to Thompson. Drop it to Davis. Left of the circle. We'll try the 20-footer. That's long and right. Rebound number 13 for Wembanyama. And he'll bring it up himself. Against Davis, in and out to his left. Down the lane to the rim. And with the left hand, flushes it home. And it was like Anthony Davis was just standing still.
Well, he had to, because he doesn't want to pick up that 5th foul.
Well, at this point in the game, does it really matter? I mean, you got to try to stop him. His Flagg draws a foul on Harper. And let's see if Mitch Johnson wants to challenge that.
You know, it's interesting here in this first game. Again, Summer League's one level, camp is one level, preseason is another level. This is regular season. It's another level up. And I think he let the game come to him. He definitely was effective in terms of rebounding, pushing the pace, blocking a shot. But I think he did get the message at halftime to be more aggressive and look for his shot.
The Flagg on the line for the first time. Shot 84% last year at Duke. Hits the free throw.
Again, give this player some time to learn. You mentioned Victor Wembanyama 3 years ago, that first game where he was in foul trouble against the Mavs. We're not going to rush to a lot of judgments here after one game about anything.
Ryan Nembhard checks in for Brandon Williams.
Other than Victor Wembanyama is going to be a problem in the West.
2 free throws made, and Cooper Flagg with a double-double in his debut. 10 points and 10 rebounds. Here's Castle of the right wing as he's checked back into the flaring Vassell against Thompson. Back out Wembanyama to Castle, looking for Wembanyama. Had to go left to Vassell instead on the drive. And there's Wembanyama up top as they let him go. Nobody put a body on him, and an easy one.
Yeah, you want to attack Vassell, try to get pressure, and you leave Wembanyama wide open.
Well, you got to get to the passer, and they were not close enough to the passer to make it work. As Nembhard to Davis, and he puts it up and in. Nembhard was afraid to shoot that layup, gave it to Davis, who took a really tough shot and was able to make it against the challenge of Wembanyama, and that leads to a Mitch Johnson timeout with 7:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. San Antonio 105 and the Mavericks 80 on the Dallas Mavericks Radio Network.
AMFFL is heading out of town to rally with the Mavericks.
At the Open as being the first chapter of an 82-chapter mystery, because we didn't know what type of team that we were really going to be looking at. And if you were going to entitle the first chapter, you'd almost have to say scary movie.
Offense without a point guard, not really in flow, in sync. Shot profile, not what they want. 18 of their 73 shots from deep. When you have somebody in the middle that patrols that paint, not really effective, and then defense is step slow and committing fouls.
San Antonio's ball as we resume. They shoot to our left as Stephon Castle brings it up against Ryan Nembhard in the jump circle, knee-high dribble. Wembanyama remains in the game. He's got 37 and 13, and he has it now inside left. They double him on the catch. Got it back out to Vassell. Back to Wembanyama. Double him again on the catch. The flashing Barnes in the lane. Over Anthony Davis. That's short. The rebound, though. Castle from the foul line. The ball hit the ground, and nobody picked it up except Castle, and he's able to dunk it home.
Nobody was getting a body on a body.
A 20-point game for Stephon Castle. 107-80. Nembhard across the floor, left to right on the bounce to Washington at the right elbow. Washington at the silhouette. Now backing down, turnaround over Barnes, hit it from 10 feet on the right baseline. A 17-point game for P.J. Washington, 107-82. Here's Castle. 20 points on 11 shots tonight. Wembanyama spinning in the lane and shooting it on the way down and draws a foul. And Washington's going to be called for the foul by Tony Brothers. 4 fouls on P.J.
Yeah, if you just go in the air, he's going to draw that contact. The foul every time.
Second team foul against the Mavericks.
And again, you have to go in the air because when you're that tall and you're putting your arms up and shooting, it's impossible to block it. You're not going to block it anyway. You might as well just stand your ground flat-footed and try to draw some kind of charge or not have the call.
Tonight, Wembanyama with 3 blocks. It's now 86 straight games with a block. That's the longest in San Antonio history. Had a couple of pretty good centers there back in the day. And he's now had 43 consecutive games with a 3-point shot. That is the longest in San Antonio history. And 2 free throws made there. 9 of 11 from the line. 30 points. 38 points, excuse me, for him.
With Victor, it's always been 2 things. His size in terms of bulk, would he be pushed around? He's added some bulk. Not too much because you don't want his legs to have too much pressure on him. And second, his health. He can keep those 2 under control. He's going to be a real issue.
Nembhard lost it, had it knocked away by Castle, got it back. Davis stays in the game and off the bounce from 17. That's no good. Rebound number 14 for Wembanyama. Anthony Davis, a 7 of 21 game shooting tonight. As Castle on the drive, and he flushes it as he went right over Nembhard. Big height advantage there at 6'5 versus 6'1. And Castle, with no mistake, and he's had a terrific game. Now 8 of 12 from the floor, 22 points, 110-82. Here's Nembhard backing up on the dribble. Nembhard looking with Castle all over him, finds Washington to nail to his right, to the block. And Long on that push against the Barnes challenge. And guess who grabbed the rebound? That guy. Victor Wembanyama, 15 rebounds tonight to go along with his 38 points. And he has it now against Christie on the drive. Right baseline, fade away from 18. How ridiculous was that?
Well, this was a really anticipated game because of the matchup, and I don't know what's happening in the other games around. This will be the lead story tomorrow morning.
Or later tonight, if you're watching highlights, as Nembhard throws it away. A guy who only turned it over twice in the preseason against 20 assists. But Vassell playing the passing lane as he tried, Nembhard did, to throw it to the corner. 112-82. Castle had it knocked away by Nembhard and Davis, and then Castle went to retrieve the ball and lost it out of bounds.
I don't know how much more you need to see Anthony Davis in this game.
Nope. And Mitch Johnson's going to bring Harper back in, and Carter Bryant, who played briefly in the first half. Bismack Biyombo, the veteran, checks in. So he is clearing the bench.
Maybe Kid is so mad at his team, he's making him play.
4:56 remaining. And just a brutal opening night for the Mavericks. Washington against Bryant. Handoff to Christie. Behind Davis will try a 3, and he makes it. It's 3 3-pointers for Max Christie tonight. One of the few bright spots as far as the shooting goes. 3 of 4 from deep. 112-85 with 4:35 remaining. Keldon Johnson, deep right side against Christie. Back him down, spin him on the drop step, and banks it in over the outstretched arm of Davis.
Now you're going to start seeing the rest of the roster.
Moussa Cisse is coming to the table as Washington over Carter Bryant. Banked it, missed it. Bryant the rebound. Mavericks shooting just 37% for the game. San Antonio nearly 57% for the game. And now Mitch Johnson will take a timeout, and he'll take it with 4:04 remaining in the fourth quarter. San Antonio 114, the Mavericks 85 on the Dallas Mavericks Radio Network.
GEHA was started by postal employees.
boys.
That's right.
From just down the road.
Do you know
by way of the Bahamas?
Do you know the school that has had a top 19 pick in the last 5 drafts? The only one?
Yes, I do know that.
The Baylor Bears?
The Baylor Bears. Indeed.
But I think Florida's got them a player this year, don't they?
Well, pretty good. He's going to be, what, this year?
Yeah, don't they?
What, the team?
Yeah. Well, don't they have a good player, like a really top player?
Alex Condon's going to be first. He'll be first team all league. I mean, he's going to be a first round pick, but I don't think he's a lottery pick. But I think the kid Hawk is a better player than Condon. But we'll see. All right, we are at that point of the game where the benches have emptied, the two-ways are on the floor, and San Antonio turning it over.
Okay, so quick question now, since we have a little time since the benches have emptied.
Yes.
We all were very happy that Round Ball Rock was back in with NBC.
Yes.
What is the best sports theme song of all time in any sport?
That's right up there as Brandon Williams drives, trying to step through. He draws the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot. And if it is not Round Ball Rock, one man's opinion, right? We're just doing opinions here, is the CBS college football theme.
That's a very good one. I would say my top 4 are This Week in Baseball, in no particular order, Round Ball Rock, college football CBS, and the old NBA on CBS.
Well, there were 2 of them now.
The old 80s, like
the 80s one, not the 70s one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The
82,
80s.
83.
Yep. That solid, very solid.
With a nod to the 70s, 80s NFL Today.
Well, what about the Olympic theme?
The Olympic theme is up there as well.
Brandon Williams missed 2 free throws. Caleb Martin tried to save it and did, but into the hands of Biyombo, as Harper's going to run it up for San Antonio. And trying to get it to Biyombo. That pass is blocked by Cisse and picked up by Nembhard to Hardy. And now Cisse fumbles the ball as he was going up to dunk it. Got it back and now pushes it out beyond the arc to Nembhard with 3:18 remaining. To his left, Nembhard backs up on the dribble against Harper. Shot clock at 8. Kick it left corner. Caleb Martin turns the corner through the lane to no one in particular. Nembhard able to get it and banks it up and in on the run. Tough shot for Ryan Nembhard for his 6th point. 114-87.
And congrats to Musa Cisse getting that third two-way spot.
Here's Carter Bryant off the pull-up for the right elbow. That's no good. Offensive rebound. David Jones-Garcia out of Memphis. Out to Harper for 3, and he knocks it down. And a pretty solid debut after a slow start for the number 2 overall pick. Dylan Harper, 15 points, 4 rebounds. Hardy on the handoff to Martin, to Cisse. Top of the circle, back to the basket. Nembhard comes around right to left to get at the elbow, and he rims it out. And Biyombo with a rebound for San Antonio with 2:20 remaining.
Good flex night. 10 boards, 10 points, 4 of 13 shooting in 32 minutes.
Carter Bryant, right corner 3, no good. Rebound, Jones-Garcia put it back up and in. Offensive rebound. The 10th for San Antonio, make it 11 for 14 points for the Spurs with 2 minutes remaining. If you're wondering what the worst opening night loss for the Mavericks in their 46 years is, it is not this one, at least not yet. Nembhard out to Hardy, who will try a 3 for the left, and he knocks it down. The Mavericks in 1991 lost to these Spurs 140-99, a 41-point deficit. Here's Harper trying to throw it toward the rim. Biyombo didn't get over there, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Show you kind of a dork I am. I actually, when I was on my exercising today, was listening to sports theme songs. It was getting me fired up.
Well, Round Ball Rock is pretty awesome. It really is. I mean, the NBC version is great. The concert version from Red Rocks is the one that I really love.
And of course, everybody associates that with the 90s Jordan run, because that was kind of the heart of the NBC time on the air. And so there's a lot of, obviously a lot of good feelings and nostalgia. And MJ, of course, on the halftime of the broadcast and interview, and he'll be doing that quite often, getting his thoughts.
Well, I wonder if that's one long interview that's going to be chopped up and run
Tirico was at Jordan's house. I don't think he's going there every week.
Right, or Jordan's not coming to Stamford, Connecticut.
No. You come to Jordan.
As Nemhard able to roll home a couple of free throws to make it 119-92 with 1:25 remaining. As Jones Garcia will bring it up, and there's an offensive foul on Biyombo for a screen up top.
Well, again, with 5 games in 8 days, you're really not going to get a hard practice right now in these off days. But, you know, they're going to look at a lot of film tomorrow, that's for sure, ahead of this must-win. Crazy to say that in Game 2 against Washington.
Well, absolutely against Washington. He's played Milwaukee tonight. As Caleb Martin on the drive, he'll hang and flip it up and miss it. Just 38% shooting for the Mavericks tonight. San Antonio, 56.5%. In the lane, Garcia able to finish it with a bank and a foul. The star of San Antonio's Summer League team on a two-way contract. The left-hander able to finish it.
And if you look at the shot profile of Mavs, just because of this being scared of Wembanyama in the paint, taking a lot of mid-range opportunities and not getting as many threes as they want to get up in this game. Only 20 of their 82 shots from deep. It's less than 25%.
And they made 9 of them tonight. The issue, not only would you take them, but could you make them? They actually kind of did make them tonight, but just not nearly enough of them. As Williams along the right baseline, and the save made by Nemhard, but he threw it right to Biyombo. Here comes Jones Garcia through the lane, and the left wing three is good. Harrison Ingram, the Dallas product, formerly at Stanford, on a two-way, able to knock it down. 125-92. Here's Hardy for 3. That's no good. Bryant the rebound with 25 seconds remaining. And a 4-second difference between shot clock and game clock, and that ought to do it. Will they try to score? Bryant just over the midcourt line on the left.
No.
And they will not.
Pass it to a teammate so you don't get the turnover.
And Bryant will take the turnover like a good rookie should. And that should do it. A disappointment of the highest order for the Mavericks tonight as they get run out of their own building by the San Antonio Spurs, 125-92. Just the 3rd win for San Antonio in the last 15 meetings against the Mavericks, but they have won the last 2, and nothing but a star turn from Victor Wembanyama. 40 points, 15 rebounds, 3 block shots, and a plus 31.
Not the way they wanted to start it on all ends. Well, the transition defense, the aggression on offense. Remember that big free throw advantage they had? They were down now, 28-26. What is that a sign of? Not attacking the basket in the second half.
Yeah, the Mavericks in the second half took just 7 free throws, and a bunch of those happened well after the issue was decided. We'll come back, run through the box, talk a little bit more about this one, get you ready for game number 2. Final score tonight, San Antonio 125 and the Mavericks 92 on the down.